I think my play pretty bad. I think if my play good, then we carry no fear.
After split 1, where we finished second, I thought we'd start off the split really strong and eventually get better than Legacy and win, but we had to put out fires too much and we only really became good at the end of the split.
I thought we were gonna win, but we didn't, so it's pretty sad for me.
The start of the split was a bit rough. We were struggling to find who we were as a team. But I think the later stages of the split, I think I was playing really well. And I think I was definitely one of the better supports in the league. Sadly, we lost to Chiefs though.
Obviously the end of the split was a letdown, but I think this is probably the best performance I've had during a regular season before. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my performance, but I am sad that we didn't manage to win. So I'd say the most improved player in our team was probably Decoy. At the start of the split, he had trouble finding his identity, but towards the end of the split, I think he really found it and he performed pretty well at the end of our split.
I would say Shock for sure. He was definitely on our stage games the most consistent player on the team, and I think he was the best mid laner in the league. So yeah, definitely Shock.
I still think after all this time playing with Shock, he still impresses me. So, as in every day, he probably works the hardest out of everyone, and that never changes. So, I think Shock's the most impressive.
Shock? Just Shock always try hard run.
I think probably Shock. When I play jungle and our mid's losing, really nothing I can do. But when our mid is winning, then it's so free for me.
Favorite team to verse in the OPL was probably Chiefs. I think they have the most similar playstyle to us, so it was always really fun, aggressive early games.
Gravitas? It was free.
Legacy? Cause Rage play pretty good, and I'm excited with the Rage.
Order, just because I think Ayla's the best support, so it's always fun to verse him. And I think they're the only other bot lane in the league that really plays to win lane, whereas I think a lot of the other teams just AFK on lane.
Probably versing Order is the most fun because if you win, I don't know, you see a lot of stuff on Twitter and it's always fun. But mainly I like versing Swiper because I know what he's going to play a few days before the match every time. Yeah, the biggest challenge is just not being able to play on stage because I feel lots of people play worse on stage, but I play better, more focused and shot call way more, see the map more. So I feel that affected me a bit at the start, especially.
In Spray 2, I was more to play with our home out in the office.
So it was better playing from home?
Yeah, but just 20 MS was pretty cringe.
Biggest double-edged sword is that you can play online. For some people, that means that they can play at their best because they're not uncomfortable being on stage, and for other players that are more stage players who really enjoy being on stage and brings out the best in them, it can be a challenge for them to adapt to the new online play.
Who cooked the most of the team?
Ooh, Danny or Chippies? I think it was an even split.
What? No, Chippies cooked for himself. I cooked for the boys.
Decoy has the best cooking, hands down.
Decoy?
Was his cooking good?
Yeah, I think pretty good.
Was it better than Chippies?
Yeah, better, but Decoy cook problem is need a 4-hour wait.
Probably Chippies.
Was his cooking good?
Yeah, pretty good. I like his mince and cheese. That seems like Korean food.
Who cooked the most in the team?
Me? I cooked the most, but I think Danny probably cooked the best meal because he put so much effort into his curry, so Decoy's probably the best.
Who's the messiest roommate?
MESSIEST, just Miru by far.
What is the mean? Just Miru.
Miru Park was, I think, by far the messiest in the house. We have days where we do dishes. It's a 2-man squad, one person washes, one person dries, and Miru would just he would go to bed before he had to do anything. Now this is a controversial question for you. Who was the messiest teammate?
What is messy, Chippies?
Messy. Throwing rubbish on the floor or...
Dirty. Who was the most dirty teammate? Messy, dirty.
Decoy?
I think Shun gave so much value, especially near the end of the split. The way he gives feedback is very just objective and just blunt, like, boom, you need to fix this right now. So it's like every bit of feedback's like a wake-up call instead of like, oh, you could do this better and work on this. It's just like, boom, slaps in the face. So I really like that approach.
I think Sharon taught us like a lot about the game and a lot of different ways to think about the game. So I think definitely like Sharon's feedback will help me for like probably the rest of my league career.
From everything is changed, makes us change a lot. Especially as an individual, I feel like I improved as a jungler on split too, I think.
I think he really ramped up towards the end of the season, and like in my opinion, he was teaching us like a ton of stuff on like how to play the game, how to think about the game, and yeah, I think he was like a really good coach towards the end of the split. And sadly, we couldn't really implement all the things he taught us in our best of 5.
Originally I wanted to go overseas, but I think now because of COVID, it'll be really difficult. So I just want to be like the best I can be for next year.
In off season, I mainly want to work on what I thought my weaknesses were this year, so the next year I'm much better.
I'm gonna stay Korea and get high elo.
I'm going Korea and play solo queue.
I'm looking to relax a little bit. It's been 9 to 10 months away from family and friends, so just gonna catch up with like all the people in my life that's back home, and I'll probably be looking to like coach in the off season. Yeah, decoyers, hit me up. Yeah, I mean, thanks for supporting us. Like, this has probably been the best team I've been on, and there's a lot of passion, a lot of drive, and we just didn't get where we wanted to be. We didn't do as well as we thought, or as well as you guys would have thought we would have done, but yeah, thanks for cheering us on.